Maybe a little too much juice on that one. Hey everybody, welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game, hopefully. Today I want to show you some of my own personal results on my early extension. It's been a chronic plague on my golfing existence for a long time. Let's get started. What is early extension? Early extension is exactly what it sounds like. If you listen to all the pros, giving you all the tips, and all of the coaches out there between golfing magazines, Golf Channel, commentators on all the tournaments, coaches on YouTube, any of them, they will all tell you that extending in the golf swing is a very necessary and essential component to a great, consistent, powerful strike. However, as with anything in life, especially in golf, timing is everything. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, go back and watch my old videos. All the different swing methods that I've tried, everything that I have tried to do, drills, different approaches to the swing, sitting down in a chair, all of these things, nothing has helped me to fix or at least seriously reduce my early extension. Early extension is essentially when you extend too early. Yeah. So in a typical golf swing, when you're set up, you'll take the club away in some shape or fashion. I don't know what swing method you're using, but you'll take the club away, and then there's inevitably a period at which you have to come down. For some people, this is very minimal. For others, they have a lot of up and down movement in the swing, but you're supposed to come down in the swing and then extend toward the target. It should happen after impact, this way, extending the legs. The full extension should happen as you stand up to finish at the target. But early extension is when you take it away and you extend at the ball, and then you have to flip or make some other kind of compensation to get up to a finish. And that's what I had. Early extension. Really bad. I've got still photos and all kinds of video across the 2 years that my channel has been on YouTube to prove that I am a chronic early extender, a goat humper. So have I fixed it? Is it gone for good? Have I lessened the effects of the early extension? Have I made a huge difference or just a small difference? Stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to show you some side-by-sides. Now recently I've told you on some of my videos that I've decided to stick with the Wisdom in Golf approach, and I've had a little bit of direct instruction from Shawn Clement himself. We've had a couple of video lessons. I've shown those on the channel. Go back and watch those if you haven't seen them. But for the last couple of weeks, I've basically been working on my own and trying to dial all of this stuff in. And I've noticed in my videos, I'm constantly looking at myself on video, and it's really hard to do, especially when you are a chronic goat humper. And I've started to notice that this early extension, I'm not noticing it as much. So I had to go back and examine some of the footage and ask myself, is it really gone? Are you just seeing some sort of optical illusion? Or has it really disappeared for good? The reason that this early extension has now lessened or gone away, at least I believe it has, we'll find out at the end of the video, is because of the approach that Shawn teaches. Once you set up to the golf ball, you're going to make sure that your setup feels like you're able to cut grass just in front of the ball in the direction of the target. That's one checkpoint. Then it gives you other little tasks like cut the dandelion stem, cut the head of the tee, peel a carrot in the direction of the target, drive a golf ball through a door frame. Whichever one of those tasks you choose, it really doesn't matter. It's all up to you and what fits with you. There is a turn to get to the top of the backswing. And he really advocates getting this nice hip turn so that your shoulders and your rib cage all turn with that. He's really big on making sure that he tells all of his students that the shoulders only have a very limited range of motion, the spine has a very limited ability to twist, and that the rib cage, the spine, and the shoulders all sit on top of the pelvis, and that the hips, the pelvis, need to turn in order to allow for a good shoulder turn. When you try to turn your shoulders against your hips, you have a huge probability of causing some sort of stress, strain, or injury at some point. So when you make that big turn to the top, you're inevitably going to come up just just a little bit. And we all know for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now, the problem with early extension is that you're coming up. You're coming up and out of it. You are straightening your spine angle, lifting your head. Whatever it is, when you early extend, you are coming up in some way, shape, or form too early. The opposite of coming up would be to go down. Well, if you start from this position and you just turn your shoulders back and you come down, inevitably you're probably going to be too low. The remedy that has been working for me because of Shawn's teachings and the Wisdom in Golf approach is that the first thing I do is come up. I come up. And when I come up, what does that cause me to do? Come back down. When I come back down, it's damn near impossible for me to extend early until I've come down and been able to rebound and come up again. The thing with that is, because of the timing and the sequencing, now that I've come down at impact, I'm coming up post-impact where your extension is supposed to happen, or what I'm going to start referring to as on-time extension. So we set up, we have our intention. Our intention is to cut grass in that direction. So we come up, we heave the club to the top, and then we come down because we've come up. When you're coming down at impact, it's impossible to be coming up at the same time. And that, I'm almost positive, has cured my early extension, or at least severely lessened it. Let's take a look at the videotape.
This is just one of many videos that I have, little clips to show just how bad my early extension is. And when I slow it down, you can really see the huge early extension and the lack of a backswing and the flip. It's just awful. And if I switch over to now, then you can see how I'm making a much better pass at it, slow it down, much better backswing, unrestricted, and then the drop leading down to a solid strike, and boom, a whole lot less early extension, if any, in fact. So let's take a still frame from when I had really bad early extension. Here you go. You can clearly see this. This is just blatant, shoulders shrugged, hips extended, ooh. But here, when I compare it, just throw a couple of lines up on the screen, look at the enormous difference here.
So as you've seen from some of those still pictures, from some of the slow motion video, you can see clearly that my goat humping has been severely lessened. Do I look like Joaquin Neiman? No. Do I look like Adam Scott? No. Do I look like the perfect model of a PGA Tour strike? Hell no. But it's far better than it was. And that is a huge, huge victory for me. And hopefully it's a huge victory for the rest of you following along at home. So guys, give this a shot. Have to go up first in order to come down. It doesn't mean that you're doing it arbitrarily. It's part of a giant picture. It's part of an entire philosophy. It is in context. You can't just add, come up, and go down to fix it. It has to be part of an entire philosophy. Thank you, Shawn Clement, to help me stop my obsession with farm animals. What goes up must come down. Guys, I appreciate y'all watching the video. Appreciate all the thumbs up and the comments and the support you give me. Continue watching. If you haven't seen the past videos, go back and check them out. See you in the next video.